All right, in this video, I'm going to be going over some of the pre and post program requirements for our students. They include the post decision forms that are attached to your study abroad application, the language evaluations we're going to ask some of our students to complete, the orientation sessions that we'll hold in the end of May and beginning of June, and then the program evaluations you'll be asked to fill out, of which there are two. So we'll start with the post-decision forms, which are now available on your application in the Study Abroad portal. So to access them, you need to go to the studyabroad.tulane.edu, sign in using whatever sign-in information you use to create your application, and then open your application and you should see them there ready to complete. If you're a non-Tulane student, this is a little tricky because you now have two sets of sign-on information that is attached to information for this program. You have the guest login that you created when you first applied to the program, and then later in May, you received your Tulane single sign-on identification, the username and password. For this instance, because it's attached to your original application, you're going to be using that guest login that you set up whenever you first applied to the program to get in and access your application. Once you're in, if you're in the Summer in Brazil program, you're going to see three forms. You're going to see the CET student agreement and the CET technical requirements, which are just signatory documents. So you just have to read them and click them to sign. And then you're going to see the health and wellness form, which is something that the Mind Language Institute students will see as well. It's an optional form, but I really encourage you all to fill it out because it gives us a little more information about your mental and physical health, and then any other personal items that you might want to disclose that would help us prepare to serve you better during the summer program. All of these forms are going to be due whatever by the orientation date, which will depend upon your program, and I'll give you those dates a little bit later in this presentation. So the next thing you need to be working on kind of right now is a language placement evaluation, especially for those students enrolled in the Summer in Brazil program, because for that program, we have a program-specific evaluation process that is comprised of both a written evaluation, that's a Google Doc or a Google form, excuse me, and then an interview with one of our instructors. The last day to complete the written evaluation is May 18th. The last day to complete the interview is May 19th. So if you're not on that, you need to get on that as soon as possible. We use this information to make sure that we get you placed correctly in either the Intermediate Portuguese 2050 or the Advanced Portuguese 3050 course. We don't have that similar system for the Mind Language Institute because we really don't need it. It's a small program and the instructors know all the students really, really well. However, what students in that program and in the Summer in Brazil program might need to be aware of are these FLOSS language evaluations. So if you're a FLOSS fellow from either Tulane or another institute, you will need to complete a language evaluation for your award. If you're in the Mind Language Institute, regardless of what university awarded your FLOSS, you should contact Professor Maxwell for a Cachiquel language evaluation or Professor Statler for a Quiche language evaluation. If you're in the Summer in Brazil course, you need to talk to your FLOSS coordinator who can let you know who is going to be completing that language evaluation for you. For those of you from Tulane with a Tulane FLOSS, it's going to be Professor Lovelace. But if you're not from Tulane, if your FLOSS is from any other institution, you need to get in touch with your coordinator who can let you know. As with those post-decision forms, you should probably get this done as soon as possible and definitely before the program start date or the orientation session if possible, right? So you see listed here these live or synchronous, not live, synchronous at least, orientation sessions that we're going to be holding for each of the programs. And the goal of these orientation sessions are to be short, but also give us a chance to review the most important program protocols that will help you be successful, allow you to ask some questions about these videos or any of the other orientation materials that you see, and most importantly, give you a chance to meet each other and meet the other faculty and staff involved in the program. If you're not able to attend the assigned orientation session, get in touch with me. I've actually already heard from some of our students, and we can set up another option for you to, answer any questions that you have and hopefully meet some of your faculty. Finally, after you finish these orientation sessions, you're going to get a link to the first of the 2 evaluations we will ask you to fill out as a student. The first one is a pre-departure program evaluation. And what this does is it gives us a little bit of demographic information about you and what you're studying and what your goals are. And it also evaluates our process of planning and publicizing the program. So it asks about publicity, application, and orientation, things like that. It will be due before the program starts, right? It should be completed by midnight the Sunday before your program start date, and so that you are ready to go on that Monday with nothing else hanging over your head, right? The second evaluation you'll get access to during the last week of classes in your program, and it's the post-program evaluation. And this one looks a little more like a traditional course evaluation with just some extra questions added in about program administration and some of the co-curriculars, things like that. Like I said, you're going to get the link for that during the final week of classes, and it'll be due 1 week after program completion. Obviously, these are anonymous evaluations, so I can't force you to complete them, but I really do encourage you all to take some time and give us some feedback, because we do look at it and take it very seriously. It helps us to make improvements for next year's program. I can tell you for this year, we used the evaluations as the basis for focus groups that allowed us to dig a little bit deeper into the the process of planning and executing these programs, and really helped us make some significant improvements. So please take the time, give us your feedback. We do use it.